My friends would like to wish Richmond County a
Good evening and welcome to your Wednesday edition of Live at 5. I'm Sierra McQueen. As always, we do our best to bring you the news you deserve. So let's get started with tonight's top stories. The plastic site in Hamlet will be expanding, according to Richmond County economic developer Marty Butler. The company also plans to invest over $4.2 million in the facility, which will add an additional 63 work positions. The Hamlet plant employs over 300 employees and has been in operation since May of 2011. Facility manager Steve Ulrich said, quote, "The plastic HMD facility has successfully served its customers for 5 years. We look forward to our local relationships growing even stronger in the years to come," end quote. Questions pertaining to Plastic's expansion can be directed toward Richmond County economic developer Marty Butler at 917-997-8191. In crime news, on December 11th, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office arrested Andrea Kendall Leviner of Ellerby when she was found in possession of marijuana and prescription pills while at the local jail. Leviner was arrested and placed in Richmond County Jail under a $20,000 secure bond. Also in crime news, Cody William Mabe of Rockingham was apprehended and charged with breaking and entering of a vehicle. The crimes occurred on October 13th in the Woodstone area of Hamlet. Mabe is being held in the Richmond County Jail on a $10,000 secure bond. A hot pursuit scenario unfolded on Saturday, December 16th at approximately 11:45 p.m. Officers observed a vehicle traveling east at a high rate of speed throughout Hamlet. The vehicle, with the driver and a passenger still inside, was soon located in the parking lot of Piney Point Apartments. Upon taking the occupants into custody, it was discovered that they were females, only 13 years old, who had, quote, borrowed the car from a family member. Evidently, that family member did not understand that the car had been, quote, borrowed, and it was reported to have been stolen. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office noted that it arrested Thomas Earl Russell and Kelly Quick Russell, both of Rockingham, in association with an ATM robbery. The two were arrested at their residence on Tuesday, December 19th, and placed in Richmond County Jail. In North Carolina alone, 3 people die every single day from opioid overdose. National, state, and local officials have recognized that the time for action is now. The newly formed Richmond County Drug Endangered Family Task Force recently met and developed a mission statement to guide them in their effort to make a difference. To learn more about the meeting and items discussed, visit richmondobserver.com. Coming up next, we will be interviewing the McNair Auto Sales Richmond County Athletes of the Week.
At Richmond Community College, we prepare you for a high-skill, high-paying career in a variety of fields. From business to education, engineering, utilities, healthcare, criminal justice, information technology, and human services. At Richmond Community College, we can save you thousands of dollars on tuition through our university transfer programs that provide a seamless transition to universities and colleges throughout North Carolina. At Richmond Community College, we are always developing new courses and programs in response to the communities we serve. We offer day, evening, and online courses, and you can now complete 5 curriculum programs entirely online. At Richmond Community College, we believe in helping you prepare for a better life. Richmond Community College. Local college, big impact.
Family Pharmacy is a local pharmacy that's been in business in Rockingham for over 10 years. Located in the Food Lion Shopping Center on US 1 North, we have easy access into the store and a drive-through for your convenience as well. You can download the official Family Pharmacy app at myfamilypharmacy.com, and we'll help you set it up to text you when your prescription is ready, and you can even set it up to fill your prescriptions when due. Our motto is we'll treat you like family, and it's something we truly mean. We take the same care in filling your prescription that we would take for our own family. Family Pharmacy, we'll treat you like family.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back into tonight's edition of Live at 5. I'm Managing Editor Kyle Pillar. As Richmond Senior High School students are out for holiday break, we've got time for one more edition of the official Richmond County Athlete of the Week segment presented by McNair Auto Sales. Of course, the full-length featured articles of our male and female students can be found exclusively on the RO's website, mobile app, and Facebook page, and are released first thing Wednesday morning. Tonight, we'll take a dip in the pool and aim for a strike at the bowling alley, as our official athletes are both participating in the inaugural season of their respective sports. Up first is our female athlete, as she's locked herself up as the Lady Raiders' #4 bowler this season. A straight-A student who is enrolled in the dual enrollment program at Richmond Community College. Our nominee is a member of several groups at Richmond, as well as around the community. With college set to begin in the fall, our guest is here to tell us what her future plans entail and who has influenced her on her journey to get there. And it's my pleasure now to introduce to you Senior Elizabeth Burns. Elizabeth, thanks so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk about bowling, because that is a sport not a lot of people in Richmond County might know about. The program's new at Richmond this year. So just kind of tell us how you got interested in it and how your season's been so far.
Well, I've always bowled, you know, like as a kid at birthday parties and stuff, and I heard that they were having a team, and it's like at first I wasn't going to do it, but then he saw me bowling, like one Saturday, and I was doing decent, so he asked me to come out there, and it's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, and so you're marked as the #4 bowler, and for folks who don't know, Richmond uses a Baker format, so there are 5 bowlers, each of you bowl 2 frames per game, and so as a #4 bowler, you're #4, #9, correct? So, and Coach Jeff Ingram had noted that you are the 2nd most consistent bowler on the team. So just kind of what has worked well for you? You know, you said you haven't bowled a lot, but I mean, is it as simple as just throwing it down the lane and crossing your fingers, or is there some more to it than that?
I just kind of try to throw it straight down the middle and hope for the best, because like you see the boys and all them trying to spin it. I can't do that.
So there's no flair with your game? So what about the team? How are y'all doing this year?
I've seen a lot of improvement from the beginning, because it didn't start out as good, but we finally won like our first actual 2 games the other day. So that was a big milestone, I think, because it's a lot of improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, bowling is kind of new to the area, so we certainly wish you luck. I mean, I know that you guys have more, I guess, matches?
We have like once a week, so there'll be 8 in all. Okay,
right, and so you'll have your next match, I believe, after Christmas break. So folks, they're all around the Sandhills region. Do you guys bowl at all at, do you have any meets at Strikers?
No, we don't have enough lanes for it. I think you have to have like 16, and we only have 12.
Gotcha. So all on the road, just stay in tune with the Richmond Observer as we'll continue our coverage this season with the bowling team. But now we're going to transition, Elizabeth, kind of into who you are as a student at Richmond. As mentioned before, you're in the dual enrollment program, you're a straight A student, you're ranked 10th in your class. So you've got a lot of things going on there, but just tell us about some of your classes and maybe which one's your favorite.
I'm in AP Chemistry right now, and that's probably my favorite, because I don't like to admit it, but I kind of like science the most, and especially the chemistry, because it has math, so it kind of makes more sense. I guess some parts of it do than others. So that's my favorite, probably.
Gotcha. And what's the benefit? I mean, and you're not the only athlete of the week to come in here to take RCC class. So what's the benefit of joining the dual enrollment program, and how does that work? You know, how does that help you when you're talking about going to college?
I think it gives you a lot of college experience, because I've done hybrid classes, all-in class, and online. So it's giving you the experience that you're gonna need to have, and it's kind of preparing you to be more organized and responsible. So I think it helps.
So what about classes this fall at the community college? What did you take? And are they tougher than Richmond classes, or are they about the same?
I think it depends on the class. Like some of them are harder than others, but they're all kind of maybe a little above Richmond. Okay. But you know, kind of along the lines of AP.
Right, and if I remember correctly, you took Intro to Ethics and History 132. Yeah. And so you'll have a couple more in the spring, right? What are those classes in the spring?
Intro to Sociology, English 112, and Statistics.
Well, good luck to you. I know you talked about the other day. Statistics, yes. You and I talked the other day how neither of us, I did not do well with statistics in high school or college, and well, I'm sure you're a bright young lady, and I'm sure you'll do well there.
I hope so.
So let's talk now about just around Richmond. I know that you're involved in National Beta Club. You're involved in NHS, so HOSA. So just kind of what are some things that you've done this year with those clubs or last year?
We just kind of, you have to get a certain amount of hours, you know, for each club. And so last year, I kind of cracked down and tried to get all of my beta ones and stuff. And so I finished that. And then you have to do a beta sponsored event, like participate in one every semester. Right. And so me and a few friends took one of the ornaments, or two of the ornaments from the angel tree that Brianna and Altman did. And so we did that for our participation this semester.
And so what is the angel tree? What is?
They got every one of the students to write 3 things that they wanted for Christmas on an ornament and put on the tree, and they put it out there for people to take them, and you would bring in the gifts for it.
Okay, cool. That's very, very awesome. And I understand too that with Beta Club you have also, or I'm sorry, with HOSA, you've gone and competed at the state convention. So, and you said at first you really didn't know what you were doing. So just kind of tell the folks at home what happened last year at convention.
Well, me and Destiny got in there and we took the test, and that was the first thing you had to do to pass, and we were the first ones out.
And it was for nursing assistants, right?
Yeah. So it was basically, it was honestly exactly what we did in health science too. So that part was kind of easy, and we were the first ones out. And then it turned out we passed that. And so we get to the second part, and you have to go in and perform something, and they don't tell you until you get in there. And we were just very out of our element for that that part of it.
Are you thinking about going back this year? Same thing, or are you still kind of planning things out?
I don't even think I've decided yet.
Well, good luck to you there as well. And you're also a member of Freedom Baptist Church, and I know you told me you're involved in the youth group there and helping there. But let's talk about your mentor, because your mentor is actually kind of an extension of your Freedom Baptist Church family. So, you know, who's your mentor? Why is she that? And what kind of influence has she had on your life? My
mentor would be Heather James, because she's always been there for us and been a good example, and she always has a lot of patience with us, and we just love her a lot.
Yeah, and I know Heather, I work with her at Ellerby Middle School. She's a fantastic middle school teacher, very bright, patient. You know, teachers have to have patience. And so let's talk about now your future. Whether you want it to be or not, your senior year is kind of on the downward spiral, the last leg. And so where are you thinking about going to college? I know you kind of have your sights set on a particular school and degree program. So tell the folks at home what those are.
I want to go to UNCW and study marine biology and hopefully get a job, you know, trying to make the environment better. And I really like sharks, so I kind of want to do something with like tracking those and doing research on them and stuff.
How'd you get interested in sharks?
I don't know. I've just always liked them, and like nobody else does.
Yeah. Do you watch Shark Week?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's always a staple in our house. So why not being a vet, or why specifically marine animals?
Well, like, I know I always wanted to do something with animals, and I know a vet, like, is important, but they don't get to go as widespread as what somebody else would, like a marine biologist. Right. And so I want to try to go out more and make a difference and do things like that.
Well, good luck to you there. And you know, UNCW, very pretty campus right at the beach, and it's perfect if people want to go into marine biology. So again, folks, joining us now, Elizabeth Burns. And Elizabeth, all the best of luck to you in your future endeavors with bowling, and in the spring you'll be sports in the spring. You involved in any? No, I couldn't remember.
I don't think so.
My mind goes a million different ways. So, but the best of luck to you with school, with graduation, down the home stretch. And folks, for more on Elizabeth, including her hobbies, sports played at Richmond in the fall, because she's not a spring athlete, be sure to check out her article only on the Richmond Observer website. Up next, our official Richmond County Male Athlete of the Week, presented by McNair Auto Sales, will be joining us. So stick around to find out who he is, only on Live at 5.
McNair Auto Sales is the place to buy your pre-owned car, truck, or van. To be the best, it takes big selection, friendly staff, and great pricing. We guarantee a no-hassle buying experience, and financing is available right on site. So come see us today. We're located at 1026 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And remember, with over 40 years of experience, you know McNair is the name you can trust.
You guys just outdo yourselves every day. And I really appreciate it. I honest to God don't know what I would do if it weren't for you. The things that you do, I'm in approval of. And thank you. I don't know what else to say other than thank you.
I'm Kelly. I worked at Champion 4 for 2 years.
6 years.
3 years.
1 year.
I've been at Champion Fort for 13 years.
1 whole year.
15 years.
I'm Jamie, and I've been at Champion Ford for 12 years.
I've been here 8 years.
champion prices, champion service, champion experience.
Get treated like a champion today at Champion Ford. Just down the road from high prices, championfordlincoln.com.
We are Champion Ford.
Welcome back to our official Richmond County Athlete of the Week segment presented by McNair Auto Sales. It's been a while, folks, but I'm glad to be back in studio to present our student athletes. And joining us just before the break was Elizabeth Burns of the Lady Raiders bowling team. And in studio now is a young man who is making a splash in the pool on the swim team this year. He's a senior swimmer who participates in 5 different events and has made waves as Richmond's top swimmer in the program's inaugural season while maintaining straight A's in all of his classes. With a courageous story, our official male athlete is heavily involved in several organizations at Richmond and hopes to one day grace one of the most prestigious offices of the world. And if you've been around the pool this winter, folks, you know that I'm talking about Jimmie Cooley. Jimmie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Good to be here.
Absolutely. Richmond swimming, I mean, who'd have thought that that would have ever come to be, and it's in its first season this year. So just kind of tell the folks at home what this season's been like for you. You really don't have any competitive swimming experience, but you're doing pretty well.
Oh yeah, it's really, I've had a lot of fun doing it. This is our first year, and we haven't had anybody on the team that's had any competitive swim experience before. So it's really just been a testament to our team's athleticism.
Sure.
We've got a lot of guys that are coming from other sports, like we've got some football players, soccer players, tennis players. So they're really putting in their athletic skill and endurance into the swimming pool, and I think that's what's helped us to be competitive against the people that have been swimming their entire lives, basically.
Yeah, and speaking of athletes swimming their entire lives, Jack Britt, Pinecrest notably have really good programs, and you personally, as well as Richmond, y'all are kind of up there with them. And if folks have been reading our articles, you'll know that the Raiders men's swim team, they're right up there. They're third in the conference right now, so not too far behind. So what are you doing personally, or how have you progressed throughout the season to get where you are this year?
Well, the main way that I've been able to get to where I am right now is through practice and dedication, and that comes in the pool and outside of the pool. What I've really learned about swimming so far is that you have to put in a lot of work when it comes to your diet, when it comes to working out every day or every other day to really make sure that your body is as fine-tuned and as ready as possible for the pool. Because what we lack in experience, I think we make up for with hard work.
Sure. And I know you played soccer, you played tennis, so it's one thing to be athletic outside of the water, right? But once you jump in the pool, I'm sure things change. So
it's an entirely different ball game.
Yeah, so kind of explain that process of you know, if you're fast on land, if you're quick, you're agile, but then you jump in the pool. What are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome this year? Or what is different about the pool than playing sports, you know, on the tennis court or on the soccer field?
Oh yeah. Well, coming from soccer and then going into swimming gets you tired a lot quicker than soccer does, because whenever we'd have soccer practices, we'd practice for like an hour and a half every day, and you'd be pretty tired by the end of the practice, but 15 minutes into jumping in the swimming pool, you're dead tired. I know Dante Miller is one of my good friends. He runs a 4.2540 on land, and he's one of the slowest swimmers in the pool.
Really? And so
it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy how that translates. So speaking of your teammates, what's the relationship like on the team, or what are the other guys' thoughts on the season?
Oh, everybody's loving it. We're having a really good time. I mean, I think we're always out there getting after it whenever we're at practice and at the meets, but it's a really relaxed and fun environment. Everybody's really good friends with each other. We push each other to be better.
Good.
And every time we go out there and practice, and I think it's just a really great vibe to it.
Great. And one thing before we kind of transition into what you do at Richmond, head coach Mike Way said that you are one of the most athletic, I guess, non-swimmers. I don't know if that's the correct term, but you don't have any swimming experience. But he said your athleticism has propelled you, to be successful this year. So what are some of the events that you participate in, and which one's your favorite?
I participated in 5 events so far. We start off the meet with the 200-yard medley relay, which is where we have 4 people, and each person does 50 yards of their specific event. And my specialty is the butterfly stroke.
Okay.
And then so I do the 200-yard medley relay, and then there's a little break in between, and then I'll go into the 100-yard butterfly, which is really tough because it's one of the most difficult strokes to learn. And I've pretty much learned it on my own with YouTube tutorials and just going out there and practicing and trying to get better every day. And then after the 100-yard butterfly is the 200-yard freestyle relay, and then the 400-yard freestyle relay. I think that's it.
It's a lot of different relays. And
yeah.
so,
and the 50 freestyle.
And the 50 freestyle, that's right. So which one's your favorite?
That's a tough
Probably
one.
the shortest, right?
that is definitely true. 50-yard freestyle is probably my favorite because it's the one that I'm best at. But I also really like the 100-yard butterfly because there's a lot of technique and there's a lot of ways that I can improve. And it's the most fun stroke to me. It's a lot different than the other ones.
Absolutely. So, folks, if you're not up to anything, the swim team is off for Christmas break. They'll pick back up the first week of January for their final conference matchup of the year at St. Andrews University in Laurinburg. And, of course, follow the richmondobserver.com. We'll have the recap there as well. So let's transition now, Jimmie, kind of into what you do as a senior at Richmond Senior High School. You're a member of the Arts Cluster. You recently sang in the Christmas program for Richmond. So just kind of tell us some of the classes that you're involved with and what classes are your favorite.
Well, this semester I'm taking AP Human Geography, which it's a really tough class. So Miss Mary McDonald, she's a great teacher. I'm also in the men's choir, which is where I sung White Christmas at the Christmas concert.
Right, you had a solo?
Yeah.
So do you ever get nervous when you do the solos, or is that part of just the natural?
I do, but I've been able to like put on a face and act confident, even though it's tearing me to bits inside.
Yeah, and what most people wouldn't believe is I'm very nervous when I interview people. I'm very nervous when I sit in front of this camera, so I know all about that. So I know that you did a really good job.
Appreciate it.
What's your favorite? I mean, obviously you're in advanced band, you're in chorus, you're in. So why the arts cluster? What has drawn that?
Well, I've always been interested in the arts. I've been singing in the car every time we're coming home from school ever since I was in preschool.
Okay.
It's just always something that's come natural to me and something that I never get tired of doing. I started doing band in 6th grade. I played the alto saxophone and the baritone saxophone, and it's just a group mentality that I really like, being a part of a family per se. In chorus and band, it's not like any other class at Richmond. You can go in there and it feels like you're in an entirely different world. Everybody's just so nice. You make so many great relationships and friendships, and it's just a really great thing to be a part of.
Absolutely. And when we spoke on Monday about just kind of doing the initial sit-down interview, I will say that you are probably one of the most involved official Richmond County athletes of the week as far as just things at school. I mean, you're obviously involved in sports and band and chorus, but on top of that, you're involved in several organizations at Richmond. So what are some of those organizations? And I know you hold a lot of offices as well.
I'm the secretary of the National Honor Society at Richmond. I'm a member of the Beta Club, and I'm also the president of the Coexist Club.
Absolutely, and that's cool. So which one of those, of all those clubs, do you have the most enjoyment with, or do you enjoy the most?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoy being a part of all the clubs. I've definitely enjoyed my time being involved with them at Richmond, and that's one of the things that I really wanted to focus on during my high school career, because there's a lot of people at the top of my class. It's extremely competitive, a lot of AP classes, but I feel like what I've been striving to set myself apart from others is to be as involved in the school and outside of the school in the community as I can. But my favorite club would probably be Coexist Club.
And why is that?
In 2015, I came out as bisexual, and that was by far the toughest thing I've ever had to do.
Sure.
I was not sure how people were going to react. Rockingham is a very conservative place, and so there's not a lot of openly gay people, so I wasn't sure if my friends were not going to be my friends anymore, if my parents were going to disown me. They didn't.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And from what you said, they've been very supportive of that.
Very supportive.
So, kind of keeping with that, what does the Coexist Club do, or as president, what is your role?
Well, the mission of the Coexist Club is basically to bring everyone in the school together and to practice tolerance and acceptance and just overall love for everyone. You don't have to be a member of the LGBT community to join the Coexist Club. You can be a straight ally. Just anyone who supports happiness and acceptance can be a part of the Coexist Club.
And Jimmie, I personally commend you for your courage, and that takes, you know, I'm sure, I can't imagine that, but I applaud you for that. So transitioning then into college plans, I mean, before you know it, you'll be walking across the stage in June, and I'm sure you're excited. And so, you know, you've expressed your college plans. So kind of tell the folks at home where you'd like to go to school, what you'd like to study, and your future plans.
Well, I should be finding out within the next month or so. Hopefully, I will be able to attend NC State University and major in political science. After graduating from NC State with a Bachelor's of Science in political science, I hope to work my way up in the North Carolina government and eventually become a senator. And my long-term goal is to eventually become the President of the United States.
Folks, you heard it here first. Jimmie Cooley is going to be, what, number 48?
Yeah,
I guess it's a little bit far off yet.
Yeah, pretty far.
Yeah, I guess 48 would be a little bit short. But so why politics? I mean, and of course, I mean, to even most people don't even think about becoming president. So kind of explain that process and why you're interested in government and why ultimately you want to be in the Oval Office.
Well, politics has always intrigued me. This past election was really what really got me into it and researching it a lot.
Sure.
It was such a divisive election on both sides. Everyone in this nation right now, everyone is at each other's throats, and we're refusing to listen to each other. And I feel like that's one of the biggest problems we have in this country right now. What I've learned to do in my research is I've looked at both sides, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, and I feel like the best way to form your own opinion is to research both sides. Because if you don't research politics, which a lot of people don't because they don't have time for it, they're working, if you don't research politics, you're uninformed. And then if you watch too much of one side or refuse to listen to the other side's opinion, then you're misinformed.
Sure. And so I guess law school, is that kind of in the future too? Is that the broadcast?
After graduating from NC State, I hope to go to law school and then maybe either go to law school at Campbell or a law school in California. I still haven't decided that, but I'll probably stay at home.
Very cool. Well, I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And folks, again, for Jimmie's full article, which has a lot more about his classes at Richmond, his mentors, and his recently completed Eagle Scout project, check out the Richmond Observer's free app for Apple and Android. We've got a lot more news headed your way after the break, so stay tuned for 2 Live at 5.
Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts is all about rustic home decor and gifts. You will always find a variety of unique antiques, vintage, and new items in our shop. Come and see our selection of housewarming, new baby, and wedding gifts. For the man in your life, we have many collectibles, Boker knives, and leather. And ladies love the jewelry, purses, candles, hats, and t-shirts. We also offer a 30-day layaway program. Come and experience shopping at Willow Tree Antiques and Gifts.
Welcome back to Live at 5, and now for tonight's top sports story. The Raider boys basketball team broke their 4-game losing streak last night against Southern Lee High School in a close one, 55-54. The Raiders will play in the Anson Invitational this Friday and Saturday. They will also play in the annual 3-day Holiday in the Pines Christmas Tournament in Southern Pines from December 28th through the 30th. Opponents and tip-off times are to be determined. And now we'll go to Kelsey Rushing, the head weather broadcaster, for your weather update.
Thanks, Sierra. Today's 5-day weather forecast is brought to you by McNair Auto Sales. So first things first, if you can see from our office cam, it has been raining all day. It's the 100% chance that we've been expecting. But speaking of rain, we'll have a 90% chance of rain throughout Richmond County for Christmas Eve, with the 80% for Norman, but that can go up. Other than that, it's 5 days till Christmas, so it's catching up quick. It's almost there, literally less than a week. Other than that, let's move on to your regular weather with Thursday with a high 55 and a low of 39 with a 10% chance of rain, and it will be sunny. So it's a little bit better than today. But moving on to Friday, we have a 10% chance of rain with a high 62 and a low of 47. And the hottest day for this 5-day weather forecast is Saturday with a 20% chance of rain with a high of 70 and a low of 51. So it is going to be pretty hot that day. And then Sunday, which is Christmas Eve, as I said, we'll have a 90% chance of rain with a high of 55 and a low of 38. And luckily, it's going to be sunny on Christmas Day with a 0% chance of rain with a high of 49 and a low of 26. So if you plan on going outside it's going to be a nice clear day. It may not be a white Christmas, but it's still a great day. Other than that, let's go back to Sierra for the desk.
Thank you, Kelsey. Remember to download the RO app for Apple and Android devices to stay up to date on all Richmond County news, sports, and events. Also, the app is the best way to submit a news lead or a story to the Richmond Observer staff, and we want to continue to do our best at bringing you all of Richmond County news. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Live at 5. See you later, Richmond County.